Hi everyone, it's Lisa from Fly and Go Farm. Today we're going to start our lessons in color, and my intent is to help you find the love and joy in your yarn collection and to also know what you want to do to enhance that at your next Fiber Festival opportunity. Do any of these statements remind you of yourself or a dear friend? Purple is my color. Or blue is my color. Or I don't know why, but I am always drawn to the same colors. Or do your friends who come to the Fiber Festival with you say, oh, I knew you were going to pick up that yarn because those are your colors. Or do you get home from a Fiber Festival and see, oh my God, I already bought this yarn, the exact same yarn on the same base from the same dyer, and I already have it. Now I have twice as much and I still haven't used it. Do any of those statements sound like you? Well, never fear. We are going to, through this series of lessons, we're going to work on learning more about color and learning how to put the patterns and the yarn together so that you will be using up your collection and doing it in a way that makes you happy. In order to get started, we need to start talking about color, and we need to start doing a little bit of vocabulary lesson so that we're all on the same page about what the words mean. And so color is not just a 5-letter word. It is really all-encompassing. When we talk about color, there's the hue of the color. There is how saturated it is. There is, well, what value does it have? Is it a warm color? Is it a cool color? What colors does it like to be around? What colors does it not like to be around? There are also tints and shades and tones. And how do those things work with the yarn that's in your collection? And then if you are going to these Fiber Festivals and you're coming to see my yarn or all the other indie dyer yarns, there are spreckles and splashes. There are yarns that have a lot of negative space and yarns that are semi-solid. And how do we work with all those yarns to make something that is going to be something that you're proud of and that you love to wear? So first, let's talk about hue. Hue is what we mean when we say it is red, or it is blue, or it is orange. But really what it is, and this is kind of the geeky part, it's kind of scientific. It is a certain space in the visual light spectrum that reflects that color. And each person sees color a little bit differently. This is because there are cells in your eyes that pick up or detect certain colors, the primary colors. And some people have more of those cells. Some people's cells are more, those kind of cells are more highly developed than other people. And so what I may call navy, you may call purple. What I may call charcoal, you may call blue. So we're seeing things slightly differently because of our genetic makeup and the makeup of the cells in our eyes and how it works with the cells in our brains. And the kind of another interesting little tidbit is that scientists and art historians believe that these differences in the eyes are what accounts for some of the really beautiful Impressionist painters' pictures, because those vibrant colors that they were seeing was actually how they were seeing when the rest of us were seeing things that were more blended. They were seeing things that were more vibrant and actually vibrating. And so that's how they paint their pictures. So that's hue. Now, there's several ways to classify colors as well. There are the warm colors, which are the colors of the sun. They excite our eyes and they pop out at you. And sometimes they can be too exciting. So it's important to, have your right balance of warm and cool colors. Your cool colors are the colors of the sea. And so those are the greens, the blues, the purples, and they are more relaxing. And because they are also a little bit darker, they tend to recede into the background. So if you have warm and cool colors together, one is going to pop and one's going to remain in the background. And so especially when you're doing color work, the choice of your yarns is really going to make it easier or more difficult to read the pattern of your finished product, to read the image that you knit, because you really have to pay attention to the warm and cool colors. I should also mention there are primary colors. Those are the colors, probably all of this part you know from elementary school. The primary colors are your red and your yellow and your blue. They're colors that cannot be mixed from any other color. Then there are secondary colors, and those are the colors that you get when you mix two primaries. For instance, with orange, you have yellow and red mixed together to make orange. For green, you have blue and yellow together to make green. And for purple, you have red and blue to make purple. And then there are your tertiary colors. That's a hard word to say. And those are when you take a primary color and you mix it with a secondary color. So you would have your red-orange, that you might call coral, or you might call that salmon. You would have your yellow-green, which would be chartreuse or lime green. And you see there's nuances even there, depending on how much yellow and how much green you put in. You would get a lime, or you would get a chartreuse. Your blue-greens could be a teal. It could be an aqua. It could be an emerald. All of those have varying amounts of the two colors, the secondary color and the primary color. And those are really, really fun, and those are some of my favorite colors to use in my work. Next, there is saturation. Saturation is how much color is actually there. You can think of it a little bit like lightness and darkness, but it's not the value. We'll talk about that in a second. Here's two yarns that will help you to see this. So this one had less dye in it than this one. They're the same exact dye on the same exact base. This is our wonderful Zephyret, which is alpaca cashmere silk. And alpaca and cashmere, it's a little hard for the dyes to take, so I had to do a little bit extra to get something that was more saturated than this yarn. That's saturation. And then there are your tints, your tones, and your shades. And this is where a tint is when you take a color and you add white. You can really see this in painting more than in dyeing, but you're going to get more pastel tones in the dye work. Your tone is when you take your color and you add gray to it, so it's slightly grayed out. And your shade is your color with black added. And again, you can find these in all kinds of yarns that are available on the market today. And so being able to mix these different colors, different values, different saturations, and come out with a knitted project that is really fantastic and you love it is the point. And that's what you want, right? That's you want to be happy with what you spent all this time making. And so that's it for today. In the next few lessons, we're going to be talking about several different kinds of color harmonies. And I want to show you how you can use those color harmonies in specific patterns. So we'll be looking at patterns on Ravelry, or maybe some samples that I might have around here, and how they work together to make a really pleasing finished product. I wanted to show you a couple of resources before I go. This is my favorite color wheel. I'll be putting a link in the show notes. It also comes in a bigger size. It has your value chart here on the side. It has all your colors in the color wheel. And here it actually shows your tones and shades and tints in that area. The second resource that I wanted to show you, if you get into this like I have and you become kind of a color nerd, this is a fantastic book. It's called the New Munsell Student Kit, Color Set. Again, the link will be in the show notes. It has a lot of information about color itself, a lot of it's basically like a college course. And there's several exercises in here, and the exercises are what I found to be fascinating. They give you little pieces of paper. This one is complete. And you are to put the colors where they belong. Here's your value scale. Here. And here, of course, is the color wheel. And they have these exercises for each one of the hues. So here's your blue-violet. And all these little teeny pieces of paper are given to you not in any particular order, and so you are training your eye to figure out where the tints and the shades are here, and the absolute total saturated hue. And so it's really, I use this process to kind of train my eyes. And again, if you get to be kind of a color geek, you might want to purchase that. So I will put that into the show notes. So thank you for joining me today. I hope that you'll come back and watch more of our videos. If you like this one, leave a comment or leave a review. And I'd love for you to leave me a comment and tell me what your favorite color is. Is it blue? Is it purple? Or are you a pink person? Are you a yellow or orange person? I tend to wear a lot of autumn type colors, but they're, you know, what is your favorite color? So let us know. Until next time, happy knitting.